After 4 days of school, no school in Madison, most moms will truly appreciate the show at Overture tonight.
Boy, that is an understatement. One Funny Mother stars comedian, former Miss New Jersey, and mother of three, Dena Blizzard. That is your real last name.
It is my real last name. Very apropos for being here.
The Blizzards come to town.
It is perfect for this. Dena's one-woman solo comedy show about the trials and tribulations of motherhood is tonight at Overture. Great to see you.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting.
Timing is everything. You timed it perfectly.
You're right. All those moms had their kids all week. They're like, Mommy needs to run out for a night. You guys will be fine. Get some pizza. That's it.
How did this all get started?
So I've been a comedian for 15 years, and I found that everything that I was writing about was my kids and my husband. And, you know, those nights that I had like a big fight with my husband were the most interesting because I would go to the club and I could do my jokes, but instead I was like, and then he did this, and then he did that, and I would just unload. And you could see the women in the audience going, that's totally you. Like you did, you know, and you start to realize you think that these things that happen in your life are so unique to you. And when you put them into the universe, you find out everybody's having the same fight with their husbands. You know, everybody's kids are annoying, but nobody talks about it. Everybody talks about how great their life is or their next
in the Instagram
it's like Facebook.
Yeah,
it is. Essentially, it's like Facebook. And so, you know, we wrote the show, and it's basically just me failing throughout my life and my day. And so it's always like, well, she looks like a nut job, so I must be okay. It's that kind of show.
Well, let's give you a little taste of what we're talking about. Tell us about the Chardonnay Go that you did.
So Chardonnay Go, it was when Pokemon Go came out, and my kids were like, hey, can we play? And I was like, well, unless there's a glass of wine at the end of this trip, Mommy's not running. And so we created a video that said that moms could find a glass of wine in their neighborhood if they had a special app. So we make lots of videos. We decided to go live with this video.
There it is.
And 24 million people watched this in about a 2-week time period. And I said to my husband, I think we greatly underestimate how much women love wine. And so we actually turned it into a board game for wine lovers, moms, and other shameless people. And so we now make products all just about moms just kind of relaxing and chilling out.
You can watch that, by the way, on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Yes, it is.
The wine is the theme through all of this.
It is, though. It's a theme through life,
you have
really.
You have a pot or a Facebook Live thing?
We do. Thank you. Look at you knowing all this stuff. Yes, we have a show called Tipsy Tuesday where we go live on Facebook at 9 p.m. Eastern. And basically, I just sit in my living room, have a glass of wine, and like 25,000 people show up. And you'll meet my mom, and you'll see my kids, and somebody will play the cello, and someone will dance. It's just nonsense. But you really start to see that there is a great need to just relax, to just sit down and really connect with people. And, you know, there doesn't need to be a point. Like, people say, well, what is One Funny Mother about? I'm like, nothing. It's just nothing.
It's your life.
It's my life. And, you know, hopefully you leave and you say, you know what? It's crazy, but everybody's crazy, and it's okay. And like you said, you just see Facebook all the time. And so we're on Facebook all the time, just showing you all those moments that nobody else shows you. And
well,
that's what
how old are your kids now?
So now they're 19, 16, and 14.
And are they as funny now as they were when they were little?
Oh, yeah. I say they're basically my writers. I just follow them around and write down all the crazy things that they say. But they're great. You know, if there was a time where my daughters would say, why do you tell people, you know, these things that we fight about? And I was like, I think, you know, they miss seeing that moment where the wives are like this. You know, I'm like, if we're fighting about you being 13, then everybody's fighting about their daughters being 13. And I think that that's a really important thing to show your daughters. You know, like my daughters don't necessarily understand the show right now, but I think I can't wait until, you know, my daughters are able to see this show with their kids. Yeah. And I think that that's the great thing. We get a lot of moms coming with their daughters who are having babies and really dragging those moms out. Like, get a babysitter, you'll be fine, come with me. This is therapy, is what this is. This is the show that says you're going to be fine. And I think that there needs to be more of that. So we're so excited to be here. And it's sold out. There's like 1,000 drunk ladies coming, so I got to go, you guys. But
before you go, is it tough to be a woman? Did you ever envision to be a stand-up comic?
No. I actually, it was my 30th birthday, and 30 hit me hard. Like 40, I was fine. I was like, whatever. But 30, I was like, I'm going to die soon, so I should do everything I've ever wanted. And so my husband bought me a comedy class. I was like, I've always wanted to try. And so I did, and I had the class. And, you know, I started being the seater girl. You would seat people, and I'd get 5 minutes of time. So I only did it I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and I would just do it on the weekends. And it never was meant to be anything. It was just something that I just needed to kind of fill my soul so that I could go back and be tortured all week, and then I'd write it down and talk bad about them on the weekends. And it just kind of turned into this. You know, I kind of look at everything we do. 2 years ago, we were off Broadway, and it was wonderful. And then now we're making products, and they're in stores all over the country. Like that, I have a degree in biology. Like, there's no reason I should be doing it, but I'm a big believer in just kind of following what makes sense for you, where you are right now. And it made sense for me. I loved being home with my kids, and I hated being home with my, you know, there was this whole thing. And so comedy seems like the next best step.
You're a real-life Mrs. Maisel.
Right? We were just talking. Everybody asks me what I think of Mrs. Maisel. It's hard to watch. I think that any female comedian that watches it, you know, will kind of appreciate that we're talking about it, but the journey is just so quick for her. You know, she has 2 kids. You never see her kids. I don't know where her kids are. But you know, for her, it happens in 13 episodes. For me, it took 15 years.
You were there long before she was.
So, yeah, in this story. But I think it's a great story. I think it's a great story about the importance of feeding your soul. You know, I think there's so moms that do so many things for their kids, as we all do. But I think at some point, you're a better mom if you're doing something that just kind of gives you this little piece of joy.
Well, the show tonight, unfortunately, is sold out, but please come back and do some more dates in Madison.
That would be
You have
lovely.
1,000 drunken women waiting. You gotta go.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you.
Welcome to Madison.
Thank you,
Continued
guys.
success.
Thank you.
Well, after a